The galaxy never fell with a single blow. It crumbled quietly, methodically, under the careful hand of a master who understood patience better than any warrior or king. Sidious did not simply win a war. He wove a future from the bones of forgotten armies and broken promises. In the laboratories of Kamino, in the hearts of manufactured soldiers, his masterpiece took shape, unseen and unstoppable. The Bad Batch were not accidents born from cloning errors. They were revelations, warnings etched into flesh and bone, proof that individuality could not be engineered out of existence. Sidious saw it long before the Kaminoans did. He saw the danger of soldiers who could think, who could feel, who could question, and so he waited, sharpening his knives in the silence between battles. Kamino's fall was not a battle lost. It was a string cut, a necessary sacrifice to sever the past from the future he envisioned. Tipica City did not drown because it was weak. It drowned because it served its purpose, because Sidious no longer needed dreamers with syringes and laboratories full of rebellion waiting to hatch. He needed obedience crafted from fear, from control, from blood itself. The Bad Batch became outlaws in a world they once fought to protect, survivors of an empire that no longer had room for their kind. Their existence was a threat Sidious could not ignore, a reminder that even the most perfect machine cannot predict the storm brewing within a single soul. As star systems bowed to the Empire, a handful of soldiers chose another path, a path lit by memory, loyalty, and the stubborn refusal to kneel. Hope clings to the edges of tragedy like light at the rim of a dying star. For all Sidious's plans, for all his foresight, he could never fully destroy what he could not understand: love, brotherhood, choice. The Bad Batch carried these things like torches through a galaxy drowning in shadow, defiant in ways Sidious's grand design could never truly contain. In this video, we will journey into the hidden war behind the battles we thought we knew. We will uncover how the Bad Batch exposed the true depth of Sidious's manipulation. We will witness how cloning, betrayal, and genocide were not desperate acts, but deliberate strokes in a masterpiece of control. And we will see how, even in a galaxy sculpted by a master of darkness, the light of defiance still found a way to burn. When the Bad Batch first appeared, few understood their true purpose. They were anomalies, mistakes at the edge of perfection. Yet the deeper their story unfolded, the clearer it became. They were not accidents, they were inevitabilities, seeds planted long before the Republic fell, hints of a larger design woven by hands unseen. Kamino was never just a cloning facility, it was a forge, a laboratory where future wars and empires were crafted in sterile silence. Every mutation, every enhancement, every failure was a step closer to something Sidious understood better than anyone. Evolution was not random, it was engineered. The Bad Batch were not created by chance. They were experiments with potential beyond the scope of the Kaminoans' own ambition. Their abilities, their individuality, their defiance, all foretold a future where soldiers would no longer be slaves to programming, but slaves to ideology, to loyalty not born of chips, but of choice. Sidious watched from the shadows. As worlds burned and Jedi fell, he took notes, studied success and failure alike. His patience was infinite. His vision was generational. Every clone, every rebellion, every spark of resistance was a lesson absorbed and twisted into new stratagems for dominance. The Bad Batch were not a mistake. They were a warning, a glimpse into the mind of a Sith who understood that to control the galaxy forever, you must control the very nature of those who fight for it, not with fear alone, but with design. The destruction of Kamino was not born of panic. It was born of calculation. Sidious saw in the Kaminoans a liability he could no longer tolerate. Their pride blinded them. Their arrogance endangered them. They believed themselves indispensable. But Sidious needed no such attachments. The Empire would not be built on rented loyalty. It would be carved from flesh and fear and finality. Kamino's existence was a thorn he had long planned to remove. When the time came, the hammer fell without hesitation. A world erased. A history drowned in the oceans it once commanded. The clones themselves were never meant to endure. They were stepping stones, disposable tools crafted for a single purpose. Sidious grew impatient with their limitations, their individuality, their growing awareness of injustice. Every soldier who questioned, every brother who hesitated, became a crack in his empire's foundation. The fall of Kamino was not just a strategic move. It was a funeral, a grave for an entire generation of forgotten soldiers. The clones who fought for the Republic, who bled and died on nameless worlds, were abandoned like broken armor cast aside after battle. They were bred for loyalty, programmed for obedience, promised a purpose greater than themselves. Yet when their use expired, they were discarded without ceremony, without gratitude, without memory. Their voices, their faces, their dreams sank into the deep, alongside the ruins of Tipica City. The Bad Batch watched it happen, felt the weight of their brother's extinction, carried the sorrow of a war that ended not with honor, but with betrayal. They bore witness to the truth the galaxy refused to see, that the Republic was never their home, that the Empire would never be their future. Sidious did not mourn. He did not falter. To him, these lives were statistics, numbers erased from ledgers with a flick of a pen. Yet the sorrow remained, etched into the hearts of those few who remembered what was lost, those few who knew the cost of building an empire from the ashes of the forgotten. In the end, the tragedy was not that the clones died. It was that they lived at all, lived and loved and dreamed, only to be cast into oblivion by the very hand that had shaped them. Yet there is awe in the scope of Sidious's vision, in the sheer magnitude of his deception. Few villains in history have wielded such patient cruelty, such intricate artistry, to orchestrate the collapse of an entire galaxy, to seed rebellion and loyalty alike, to create heroes and villains from the same broken pieces. The Bad Batch were anomalies because Sidious needed anomalies to understand imperfection. He needed failures to perfect his new empire. Every mistake was a revelation. Every rebellion was a blueprint. Every choice the clones made outside their programming was a lesson in how to tighten the chains for the next generation. Sidious's genius was not merely in conquest. It was in adaptation, in seeing the future before it arrived, in bending chaos to his will without lifting a blade. Others fought battles. Sidious fought eras. Others seized moments. Sidious seized destinies. To watch his plan unfold is to stand at the edge of a precipice and glimpse the machinery of history grinding into motion. It is to see free will reduced to suggestion, dreams reduced to instruments of control, lives reduced to stepping stones on a path only one man could see. In that terrible grandeur, in that terrifying majesty, we find a portrait of power at its most complete, its most devastating, its most inevitable. And yet, in every corner of Sidious's perfect design, cracks begin to form. The Bad Batch refuse orders. Clones question commands. Seeds of defiance bloom in the soil meant for obedience. Hope, fragile and persistent, takes root where despair was meant to reign supreme. Crosshair stands as a monument to tragedy. Yet even he reveals the flaw in Sidious's perfect system. The refusal to fully surrender. The stubborn will that survives programming, survives betrayal, survives annihilation. The Empire believed it had erased the spirit of the clones, believed it had burned their identities in the fires of control. But the Bad Batch carry something far stronger than orders. They carry memory. They carry loyalty to each other. They carry a future not written by emperors, but by brothers. Hope does not roar. It does not conquer. It whispers. It endures. It moves unseen beneath the boots of tyrants. It flickers in the dark corners of a galaxy, suffocating under the weight of a lie. As long as one clone remembers, as long as one soldier chooses his own path, Sidious's perfect plan remains just that, a plan, never a certainty. In the end, the Bad Batch are not just soldiers. They are the embodiment of everything Sidious feared yet could never fully destroy. Choice, loyalty, brotherhood, traits that no amount of engineering or programming could truly erase. Kamino's oceans swallowed a city, but they could not drown the truth. The truth that life, real life, cannot be so easily chained. The truth that even in the heart of an empire built on control, freedom still finds a way to breathe. Sidious won the war. He seized the throne. He silenced the Jedi and bent the galaxy to his will. But he never conquered the spirit of those who refused to be what they were made to be. He never crushed the spark of rebellion that would one day ignite into an inferno he could not contain. The tragedy of the Bad Batch is that they were never meant to survive, never meant to matter. Yet they did. In surviving, in resisting, they became the final flaw in a machine designed to erase them. They became a testament to everything Sidious could never truly understand.